The history of Wario Land 2. Official Nintendo lore states that Wario was a childhood rival to Mario and Luigi, who became jealous of their success. The first appearance of Wario was a 1992 Game Boy game, Super Mario Land 2: 6 Golden Coins, and was the main antagonist and final boss. He was designed by game artist Hiroji Coyote. The name Wario is a play on Mario's name and the Japanese word waru, which means bad. Since Super Mario Land 2, Wario has developed into the protagonist and anti-hero of his own video game franchise, starting with the 1994 Game Boy game Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3. It is the first video game that features Wario as a playable character and the main character, as well as the first appearance of Captain Syrup and her brown sugar pirates, reoccurring villains in the Wario Land series. Wario Land 2 was released on the Game Boy January 21st, 1998 in Japan, and March 13th, 1998 in North America. Nintendo's R&D 1, with Takahiro Hazusa as the game directors and Toshihiro Isushi as a producer, handled development. It was the last first-party title game made for the Game Boy and was later remade to take advantage of the Game Boy Color's hardware. In this game, Wario has to recover his treasure from Captain Syrup and her Black Sugar Gang, formerly the Brown Sugar Pirates. In this 2D platformer, the player can find hidden exits in some stages and can change the direction of the game's plot and uncover different endings, as well as find more treasure. In addition to the really final chapter, 5 other endings can be unlocked by collecting all the treasure. Additionally, unlike most Mario games and even other Wario games, in Wario Land 2, Wario does not have any life points and cannot die. Some enemies' attacks simply knock him backwards and cause him to drop coins. A penguin enemy in the English version throws bowling balls at Wario. If they hit, he becomes dizzy, burps, and needs to splash himself off with water to go back to normal. In the Japanese version, the penguin actually throws pints of beer. This explains the out-of-place animations and why Wario needs water. The beer was censored for obvious reasons. As was said, the game features the return of Wario's nemesis, Captain Syrup. Early one morning, she and a few of her soldiers sneak into Wario's castle and cause havoc. They steal his precious treasure, set off his giant alarm clock, and leave the tap running, flooding much of his castle. After Wario wakes up and figures out what's going on, he gives chase across the surrounding lands. There are 12 stages and chapters to explore, each split into 5 stories or levels. To beat the game, you only need to get through 5 chapters. Each story has its own unique theme and boss to defeat. In each story, there are a number of puzzles you must overcome to move on. The puzzles aren't very difficult, but do take a bit of critical thinking, but won't have you screaming at your Game Boy. Wario Land 2 received critical acclaim. IGN gave the game 9 out of 10, insisting it's a perfect game to accompany you on a long road trip because of the lastability and replayability. The game was re-released on the Nintendo 3DS Virtual Console and is a must-buy for anyone wanting a classic Game Boy experience on the 3DS. Hey guys, it's Justin from the Nintendo Dads. Hopefully you liked the history of Wario Land 2. Thanks very much for listening. I've got to give my shoutouts as usual. First and foremost, thanks very much to Cass Lush from the Gaming Doc YouTube channel. So if you haven't, go subscribe to his work. He's the one that actually puts all the script together, the video work for this. He's fantastic. I love the work that we do and the partnership that we have. So guys, make sure you go check out his stuff on YouTube right now. That's Gaming Docs. But of course, guys, this does not happen. This extra episode, this content does not happen if it was not for our amazing Patreon supporters. So guys, I've got to give some shout outs to our awesome Patreon supporters. First and foremost, thank you, Eli. Thank you for being a supporter. How about Holden, Moffat, and Brian? Thank you guys very much for being supporters. We've got some new Patreon supporters. So these are first time shout outs to Sirius X Sarcasm. We also have a new Patreon supporter, Steve, thank you guys. Thanks both of you, Sirius, Sarcasm, and Steve, for being new Patreon supporters, guys. Thank you so much. Of course, also thank you to John. Thank you to Colin. Let's see here. Thank you to Jim. Thank you to Patrick. Thank you to Eric. Thank you to Malik. Thank you to the Toys for Games podcast. Thank you, Jesse, and thank you, Justin. So, guys, thank you guys very much for continuing to support Nintendo Dads. Thank you for your Patreon support. Thank you. We hope that you guys enjoyed playing this game together with us. We enjoy it. We've obviously got a new game coming up soon that we're going to need your support to play together, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. But as always, guys, thank you very much for your patronage. So for me, Zach, and Jesse, stay fresh, and now you're playing with power.